Today I'm going to show you how to create a table with the Create Table connector and get information about the table with the Describe Table connector. Let's start with the Create Table. To start, I encourage you to watch my first episode if you haven't already seen it, in which I described how to configure all the parameters in the scan connector. In today's video, I won't repeat the same thing, but will focus on the new features. The configuration is very similar, but it can be difficult for beginners. The Create Table operation adds a new table to your account. In an Azure Web Service account, table names must be unique in each region. Basic settings section is the same as in the others connector for DynamoDB. In General section, first is table name, which is obvious. I set here products. Another is attribute definitions. Represents an attribute to describe the key schema for the table and indexes. In simple term, it is the columns of our table. An easier way is to use edit inline mode, when you should specify attribute name and type. In attribute type, we can choose number, string, or binary. I set two attributes. The first will be ID with type number and name with type string. Because DynamoDB is not relational database, table can be less schematic. Therefore, when creating a table, you only need to specify a primary key, also called hash key, and a sort key, also called range. And it is in this section key schemas. Here you need to specify which attribute will be the primary key and which will be the sort key. I set ID as the primary key and name as the sort key. Another setting is related to the billing mode, which controls how read and write capacity is charged and how capacity is managed. This setting can be changed later. If this is something new to you, please check out this channel. Be a better dev and the video that's linked in the description. Here is a full explanation of the differences and use cases when you should use which mode. Because only provision mode is allowed in Mule in DynamoDB connector, we need to specify units of read and write capacity. I set 1 here, but remember that you can change this later in the Azure Web Service console. In the next settings, you can specify a global secondary index and a local secondary index. The secondary index is a data structure that contains a subset of attributes from a table, along with an alternate key to support query operations. If you have no knowledge of these two parameters, check the Azure Web Service documentation. At this point, I will mention that at the table creation level, it is mandatory to specify a local secondary index if you want to use it. Once the table is created, it will be not available. To be honest, I tried to create a table with a local secondary index, but the connector does not allow it. I'm not sure if it's a connector error of my configuration. The last configurable parameters are settings related to stream mode. A DynamoDB stream is an ordered flow of information about changes to items in a DynamoDB table. When you enable a stream on a table, DynamoDB captures information about every modification to data items in the table. Okay, that's all for this connector. Now I will run my flow. Okay, this is my response. Table status creating, attribute definitions, key schema. I will refresh and look, this is my new table. Let's check how to specify settings in Describe Table connector. Describe Table returns information about the table, including the current status of the table when it was created, the primary key schema, and the indexes of the table. It's very easy to use. You need to only specify connection and table name. Results look on this way. Response include all information about table. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Check out my other videos in my playlist about DynamoDB. Bye.